what is something you want to bring to invite in for the new year?
So you start, or I start, or who start? Yeah, I can take it. Something I want to bring to this year. I mean, I really want we to I'm really excited for, yeah, what's come 2022. Like all this, like I really would love like we have like this is going to be the first common, but I think like after the first commons, it's very easy to replicate the work and see real, see a solar punk future somehow. Yeah, I think that would be awesome, and I think we are with the commons great. We are doing like a first big step. Yeah, I'll pass it to you, Livy.
Hi Nate, hi Griff. So the question is something you want to invite into your new year. And I think for me, just discipline. Like I really want to like work out and eat better, like make the most out of my day, like try to wake up always in the same time and a few hours before starting working. So like that like 5:30 a.m. goal that I hope it happens. That's what I want. What about you, Griff?
Yeah, I'm very similar. It's kind of hoping my New Year's resolutions all start in March. I know it sounds horrible, but I'm just like I have to get through this crazy time with Giveth launching and TEC launching and all the chaos. And then once everything can get into a steady state again, really focusing on trying not to overcommit. That's my dream. It's kind of in the same vein. It's like, wouldn't it be great if, because I wake up at 5:30 every day because calls start at 6 sometimes, so it's like maybe that could change. And also Burning Man. I want to make sure to hit Burning Man this year. I don't know if that's a resolution, but I'm inviting it into my new year for sure. I'll pass it to Durgadas.
Yeah, I need, those kinds of things too. I need to, yeah, I'm just really a little paranoid about COVID. So I've been stuck in my room for 2 years and I'm really over it at this point. So it's nice hanging out with all of you and it meets my needs to a certain degree. But yeah, I'm trying to, and I keep also wanting to start my yoga business, which is also getting sabotaged somewhat by. So I've spent, like more than $250,000 on this building to which no one comes. So like, I actually want to invite the fact that maybe at some point people could actually come here. So that's my big thing for this year. And I'll pass it to Nate.
Thanks, Turgadas. Yeah, kind of in the same vein as Griffin and Livy. My resolution this year was to say no more in my personal life, and kind of just establish boundaries and make sure that I am, taking care of myself a little bit better, mentally and my health. So that's my big goals for this year. So and I'll pass it to Chewy.
Thanks, Nate. I think like I really, really need to start like regular yoga again. I mean, I'm thinking about a bunch of stuff as like a New Year's resolution. Like I want to go to a bunch of like of the ETH conferences. But I feel that like thinking about the most important, which is like mental and physical and emotional health, I really, really miss yoga. So yeah, I'll try to find something more regular, and yeah, not have delays on that. I'll pass it to Septi.
Oh, thank you. I already went out. I think you were the last one actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back to
Cool.
Livy then.
Thanks, everybody. Welcome to the first SoftGov call of the year. And I was just finishing this. I thought I was going to finish in my last call, but it didn't. I needed to be present. So we can all do it together, the covenant. It's almost, so I'm just like finishing the last details here. Putting in the proposal template. So it's all here. I'll just read this TLDR and see if there's anything anyone wants to add. So the covenant is a sort of manifesto for the TC, which includes our mission, vision, values, code of conduct, governance framework, and the methods used to enforce our rules. The covenant leaves on chain and has to be signed by every TC participant that interacts with the commons. There's a signaling proposal that will also be submitted to the hatched out if approved here. Does anyone has anything else to add, or does this sound good?
I would just say that it's not sort of a manifesto, but it seems like it just is.
Okay.
It's sort of totally positive action language, you know.
Very informal language. Thank you. It is a manifesto for TC. Hey there, Kingdom. If you want to say hi, we were just sharing our New Year resolutions or something you want to invite in for your New Year. We just started the call, so if you want to still jump in. You're still muted if you're trying to talk. You're also welcome to just hang out and listen in. And if anytime you want to jump in and say hi, feel free to. Cool. So, yeah, just the last part here. There's no complementary information, no team information, no project information. Share progress, I think just once this proposal is resolved, communicate. Okay. How will the covenant benefit the community?
It will set up like clear boundaries for us.
I would say common language around all of these different things.
Set clear boundaries and common language. Anything else?
Also, just around a set of unifying principles seems like a nice way to sort of say that. So we'll set clear boundaries and common language around a unifying set of principles for the TEC participants. I just like the idea of unifying principles just because I know that's what we're all here doing. So.
Great. All right. So, oh. And then this will also get into the next topic of today, that is just managing the votes and setting up like this being aligned with the submission of the proposals on Friday. So Griff asked a really good question today that, well, we'll vote on the covenant with quadratic voting, but then we can't have both votes happening at the same time because we will use ranked choice quadratic voting for the commons upgrade. So what would happen is that, like, in the last hours of the vote here, the votes would count the quadratic.
So we would need to end this vote before the start of the next. Is that correct?
Yeah, just so we thought it was okay to just end slightly earlier than the full, like 24 hour of the last day. Does that sound like a problem for anyone?
Yeah, I feel like there's two options. It's either we and like Sem is in Costa Rica with me, but leaves on the 14th. So, well, he leaves on the 15th, but would actually go to the airport, the city that the airport's in, on the 14th. So, I'm hoping to score the 13th as a full day, but we can make sure to deploy this thing. Even try to deploy it basically right when the vote is done. Go through the process of deploying it, and even maybe have it deployed by the community call on that day. That would be like, if everything goes well, we would actually be able to deploy it by the community call. So ideally for that vote, ending as early as possible on the 13th would be ideal. And then the options I see are either we use single vote choice voting with as a quadratic. Sorry, we use quadratic voting on here and early, so we have time to switch the voting settings, or we use single choice voting with the voting settings set how they are, and then the votes could overlap. But it would be quadratic even though it says single choice vote. I feel like those are the two options that we have. Unless
Yeah,
someone...
I like the idea of, I mean, if they can overlap, that seems cool, so we don't have to change, like, leaving one day and, doing something that is not in our rules. And if we can actually solve it, like Griff was saying, I think I really like this approach.
I mean, if it's just two binary options, like, it doesn't really matter if it's quadratic or single vote, right? I mean, I guess you could split, but I don't see the logic of doing that.
I mean, you would still, what Griff is saying, that it would still be quadratic. It just would be called single vote.
Yeah, I guess I don't see any problem with like having quadratic for this, but maybe somebody does.
Yeah, the question really is just the name. And actually, that would solve all our problems. we could then just leave the ranked choice strategy always there, right? If we always just use the single choice.
Yeah, the only reason you'd want quadratic voting to switch the strategies is if there's many options.
Many
People
options,
can
yeah.
split their vote. But if there's only yes no, then it doesn't matter.
I guess not being able to do that would just be like a bureaucracy of our vote before. Like, I don't think we would be actually breaking any rule. It's just the name of it. But does anyone see that that could be a problem of like, it's not exactly the parameters that we had proposed for Snapshot, but they act exactly with the same purpose. So it feels like there's no reason why not making use of it.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody challenges it, I guess we, recognize it and allow it to be and just adjust accordingly, but I don't see any problem with it. Do we need to have
Well,
this before the vote for the proposals?
No, not before it starts. It needs to be done before it's ended.
Okay.
yeah, so this, okay, I'll take this as a working group advice process, that this was a good choice. And then we can, so I need to go add the strategy first. Do you think if I go out of this, I'll lose everything?
I'm excited to see how you add these strategies.
It's so easy. Let's go here. That's literally it.
That's so cool.
So January 4th. This times always confuse me. I think it's like this. Should I say it in the proposal that we're doing this, or no need?
I think it's
Yep.
nice.
Yeah, because people will be confused, right? If they vote and then it shows like their tokens are so little. Do I need to put this in caps? Okay, great. So we
We want
can
to promote it
submit.
in Discord.
Hmm?
Do we want to go ahead and promote it in Discord?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you, Nate. And Well, yeah. Next thing is that. Wait, what was I gonna say? That the vote from Friday we can post it very early. So, so now we don't even need to change the strategies, Griff. We can just go ahead and post early. So, what is a good time for it?
I mean, it's if it was done by 8 a.m. my time, that would be great.
Okay, sounds good.
So that'd be if it was done by 9 a.m. your time.
Yeah. Cool. And then next topic is just the pamphlets and how everything is going.
Yeah, so I put the finishing touches on the slides for the voting pamphlet. I
Do you
do
want
think,
to link?
yeah, give me a second. There are a couple questions that I have that Chewy brought up. And that's just making sure that he made a good point that we kind of have tunnel vision when it comes to presenting this stuff because we're so immersed in it that a lot of us may not be shared in the Softgov channel, that some of us are presenting this and we may not be acknowledging that it may not come off as easy to understand as people who are kind of distant from it. So I think that we may not get the response we want in terms of like newbies reviewing it. Chewy presented that option for the communications working group, and so we'll see if we get any feedback. But I think it's really important for us to go over it to really, and just make sure that everything is understood and that we have everything that's going on. We need to fill out the voting schedule at the bottom as well. I put. But I think it looks okay aesthetically. But yeah, outside of that, it's good. And then actions to take after this are, of course, the Hatcher outreach, which we need to get on it ASAP. We have the Hatcher outreach list. So if you are interested in participating in that, I'm going to go ahead and start facilitating it. We have a Hatcher outreach sheet that Tam put together for the original vote that we had for the Hatch DAO. And so we're just going to use that and outreach to the individuals on that list. The problem is that we don't know whether it's Discord or Telegram. And so I guess we're just going to create I wanted to ask, is it okay to just create a template for this outreach message? And should we message maybe like once a day until the vote happens? And then we have the newsletter that's going to get sent out via HubSpot. And then we will have the Twitter planning. And those are the 3 communication and distribution channels that we're going to use. But I don't know if anybody has any thoughts on anything else regarding that.
Let's pass it around. Griff, do you want to say something?
I love the idea of a review from the comms contributors and taking their feedback seriously. The rest of the strategy, I totally trust you guys to like pass, to figure out the best way to distribute. As long as we recognize that the real audience is only 270 people. It's not like we don't need to get it out to, the world. We just need to get it out to these 270 people. So that's how I feel. I'll pass it to Chewy.
Yes, my only concern is that we are I think we're releasing this by Friday, right? So Friday would be our deadline. Is this correct? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna be reaching out to different comms contributors, especially now that we are setting up the workspace. And yeah, just gather as much as I can. I'm just like my only concern is that maybe it is like too much information. So if there's any way in which we can discuss some stuff that we can cut out that is not really like essential to get it, I feel on the contrary, like that would be only our perspective, right? So if we could give a round of maybe reducing the amount of information, I feel this could like benefit the pamphlet in general. And I'll pass it to Craig.
So before you go, Craig, I just wanted to say one thing in response to what you said, Chewy, and we want to have this done by Friday, but I would like to have it probably done by the end of today, just in terms of like for Hatcher outreach concerns. Like I want kind of, when we send something out, I want them to have this pamphlet with them, at least this link. And that means we need to lock this slide so nobody changes it. And yeah, I just want to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm aligned with Chui on the maybe it's a bit like a lot of slides and this brings complexity, but I think that's the thing that it's in it because all this information is valuable, and I think one thing we could do is like maybe also have like some or either one-on-ones with like the hatchers if they need like a special time, but also like having some kind like explaining this board like in a objective way, not like like it's like instead of or I don't know, even having like more debates, people debating why their params are the best, explaining with those slides. Like I think that would help people to vote. Like sometimes read all of this feels like too much, but if someone is explaining it to you, I feel it's easier to understand and vote.
Okay.
Nice to see you, Craig.
Hi, how you doing, Libby?
I'm good. Thanks for joining.
Nice
Do
swag.
you have? Yeah. Yes.
I don't have an opinion on the strategy. I trust the people that are doing that, and I'm willing to help though. Like with one-to-one pings, I did a bunch of that early on. So, if there's a template that we're using or whatever the method is, I'm happy to help. And I already hit you up, Nate. So feel free to put me in. Is anybody not gone?
I just wanted to ask you actually, because I think you're a great person to give a feedback on this. Like if you're seeing this for the first time, do you think
Sorry.
Yeah, do you think this is like, do you have any feedback for like how digestible the information might be?
It is the first time I'm seeing it, so I don't have any, but I'm going to look at it soon and I can provide some feedback.
Thank you. I think, yeah, Chewy hasn't gone.
Livy?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I went,
Oh,
but
you
actually I
didn't.
just checked my Telegram and I asked my friend Max for some feedback. He's a hatcher. He sent me like a bunch of stuff and he's still like typing. So maybe we can come back to it like in like I'll give him 5 minutes more, but he's it's exactly the kind of feedback that I think we were looking for.
Nice. Turkadas, do you want to go next?
Sorry, I'm a little distracted with my regular job here. What were we talking about?
No worries. We can come back to it too. It's just if you had any feedback to
Oh yeah.
These pamphlets.
Yeah,
The
I
link is
apologize.
in the Softgov chat too.
First day back to work, so it's been a busy morning for me. So I'll opt out this time around.
No worries. Hi, Edu. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
And hey, Mad Macaca. Are you there? Do you want to give your insight on this pamphlets if you had a chance to look at it? What about you, Edu?
I read it, and yeah, for me, it's an amazing tool, and it will be very helpful for everyone to who has questions and stuff. Probably the only thing that I will add at the end, I don't know if it had it and I missed it out, is to have a point of contact. Just like if you have any question, who I reach after I finish this document. That's it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think the voting schedule really needs to be solidified probably in this call if we can, like in terms of the debates as well. I think that if to address Chewy's comment on cutting it down a little bit, like I think these are the points that we found most valuable in terms of each module to address, and I think we conveyed it pretty well. It's I just don't know how much context people need to understand it. That's where the feedback comes in. But I guess if you're interested in the Hatcher outreach aspect of it, you can send me a DM and we'll get that process started. I sent you a link back, Craig, and if you want to, I put a column there on the right side to actually put your name if you wanted to reach out to those types of people. And then outside of that, I think, yeah, just the debates and the voting schedule is something that we need to add, including what Edu just said, a point of contact. And I'm not sure if anybody's down to do that. I'm willing to, but if anybody else is eager to, let me know. And I'll pass it to Griffin if you want to talk about the debates.
Yeah, I meant to bring that. I was like waiting for the right moment to interrupt to be like, we say exactly that. We should schedule the debates in this call.
For that,
and
sorry, can I just give my one feedback for the pamphlet, and then I'll pass back to you. I think for me, it feels a little scary, to be honest. Like it feels like an immense amount of information that is not like if it's amazing, like the amount of work that was put in here, but maybe there is a way to make it a little more friendly to navigate. And would you be okay if I just edit a little bit today, like right after this?
Please, yeah.
Okay.
Like anybody in this call is free to edit it. Yeah. I think that by the end of today, I think I want to lock it though, and just make sure that we get all our last edits in.
Yeah, sounds good. Sorry, Griff, go ahead.
No, it is great. I'm happy to stay on context. I mean, is there anyone else who needs to go on the pamphlet before we go into debates?
I do have a quick question about the augmented bonding curve that's in the proposal. Just had a second to look at it. I remember during one of the debates we had a really great attendee who was like talking about, well, there are a lot of problems with doing this using an augmented bonding curve, and the way we kind of explain it here is just like augmented bonding curve, like it is a universal good, like and I know the way we talk about it in terms of this is like that, but there is kind of like irrationale in terms of why we've actually chosen to do this as opposed to not, and so we do explain what the thing is, but we don't explain, the reason necessarily why we chose to do that over not having it, which was not, I have to say, during that debate, I heard that for the very first time. So I actually think that it should be a thing that we explain why it is that we've chosen to do this as opposed to not doing it. That's my other sort of perspective on it, but maybe somebody else has a reason why we wouldn't include that.
Well, I would just say it's like, because it's not really a choice, so it's not like it's part of the debates. It's like we can always turn it off, but that's like if I just say it's like Livia's saying, there's a lot of information already in there, and so like subtracting is really the direction that I think we want to go, just with like less concepts and less thoughts and more. But it's almost an impossible task because there is a lot there.
Right, that's true, I guess. So I don't know. I just found when I was thumbing through this, the rationale behind using the bonding curve in this situation, it does make sense. And the fact that we can turn it off, that was a big part of the debates too, was, yeah, well, we can always turn it off when it's not appropriate to use or whatever. And so I just didn't see that listed anywhere in here as to why we were. Anyway, so that was my perspective.
I would just want to add one more thing, and that is, if you get a chance today or tomorrow or this week to go into each of the proposals in the forum and just give your opinion about, like, a subjective opinion, like why you like it, why you don't. I think adding that type of information to the context in the forum can really give a good insight for a lot of voters. So, yeah, just wanted to add that, and I'll pass it back to you, Griff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think this document itself is probably going to be more of a reference doc that will be really nice to have for people who go to debates. And you know, what I learned during this whole process is, and actually Paul, who's the same guy, Durgadas, who you're talking about, who came in with a lot of fresh perspective. He brought out that it's just too much. It's too much to all be in one vote. And if I were to when we do it for other commons, when the common stack does it for other commons, we'll have to break it up into one vote at a time because it's just too much. And it'll have to be in series, not in parallel. And then it's like, okay, augmented bonding curve. Let's just deep dive into augmented bonding curve for 3 weeks or whatever, 2 weeks. And then like, okay, we set the augmented bonding curve. Set in stone, not going to change. Conviction voting next. DAO voting next. And then it's still being designed with all the pieces in mind, but with, focus. I think that'll make life a lot easier. But here we are. So I would love to have a debate. I assume we should do one on Friday to kick things off. And then maybe one on Monday and another one on Wednesday, Tuesday, maybe one on Monday, one on Tuesday, and one on Wednesday. Maybe it'd be nice to hit a Europe, Asia time. Like, I don't know, Zep, it's really hard. We really have to hit these golden hours because, I don't know. It's hard. We have most of our people are in the Europe and American thing, and because there's 5 groups, like it's Lauren, Mitch, Tam. We need someone to represent each proposal in each debate, right? So,
I think I could host like some calls, but instead of debating, I just explain the slides. And if someone from Europe wants to come, I just explain them. Okay, this is this is that, but just like an objective. I just say what the slide says. I don't give my opinion.
Maybe a couple calls like that are, and also stealing slots from some of our group calls, like maybe the SoftGov call on Tuesday could just be let's talk about the params, and and it doesn't have to be a debate as much as just like people asking questions and answering it from each other.
What if we have 2 types of calls? One that is educative calls for hatchers that weren't involved in the first debates, and then the second one that is debates for everyone. And then on the debates, we have, like we had the last time, like people representing each proposal. And for the educative calls, we don't need to have everyone, but we have someone that really like has an overview of all of them and can go through it.
I guess, yeah, I think that would be great. And we can have as many of those calls, those like Hatcher education calls, or just like, you know, conversational, and they can be hosted by anyone, and it's all cool. For debates, we need one person to represent each proposal for sure. And I'm also just curious, like, it doesn't have to be the proposal authors, you know, I, I think anyone could represent their opinions, you know, and be like, this is the best proposal, and be like, I would rep for this proposal, you know. And I don't know if in this call there's anyone like, so that way we could maybe take a like have a list of names of people that we need 5 of these people to show up, you know, one from each group.
Yeah, that would be even better to not have the owners of the proposals to not make it about the person. Yeah, Nate, you're gonna...
I said I'd be willing to rep mathematics.
Nice. Yeah, actually, maybe we can record this. I don't have the SoftGov notes up, but
I'm writing it up.
Nice.
I can also support one Ostrom 1 million baby.
Nice. And I think Wonka also would do Ostrom. Obviously, Nuggin would also do memetics. I'm gonna just not support any of them. I don't think, because I think I have undue influence.
I'll support Bolshevik
Good
Sam.
call.
I can also do Ostrom because I helped make it.
And would you, I mean, I think it's also important that, not that just that you could, but also that you actually do feel like it is. Because, like, it's almost, if you don't believe that it is the best, if you're like, yeah, I'm actually going to vote for this other one, and you support that, during the debates, you can feel it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it would be worse for that proposal if, like, and this is for everyone, like, it really has got to be the proposal that you're going to put number 1 on your ranked choice.
Yeah, I think I'm really debating between math and Goldilocks.
Is there anyone else that would be willing to represent a proposal on stage? Let's say no. Okay, cool. Well, we'll have to see. It's funny because I was talking to Tam today, and she's like, I don't think she would support 420 necessarily. So we'll have to find at least someone who's like, no, 420 is definitely my chosen parameter set. Maybe we can get Paul in here.
Well, that would be almost even better if there are proposals that, like, at this point, people just like, oh, actually, no. There'd be less options to choose from.
It's true. Okay, cool. Well, let's schedule some times. At least some tentative times, and then we have to go hunt down someone to represent these proposals. It's a little late, but I like after the meme party or during the meme party and after sprint planning on Friday.
Yeah, I'm up
We
to
do
it.
I really want to keep having the meme party. I think we need a meme party. I was definitely planning on attending the meme party and pushing the meme party.
What about doing the other way? Like first do the params, then do the meme party, because
Okay,
you get the
that's
vibes.
great.
Yeah, you get the vibes, then you meme it.
That's fantastic. You're a genius. Thank you. That is great.
Should we add it to the calendar already?
Yeah. And what do you think? Hour and a half for these calls? I was thinking a structure of like give each person, 6 to 8 minutes to say why their proposal's the best, and then have 6 to 8 minutes of debates, and that would put us at 15 minutes about per person. Sometime at the beginning and end ends up being a little over an hour. 15 minutes per person times 5 just ends up being a little over an hour, like 15 minutes over an hour. So
So 1 hour and a half.
mm-hmm.
And this is a debate.
Yeah, that would be a debate. And that's the time. Also, I think on Monday, that'd be during the team sync. Man, Monday's impossible, Chewy. You've made Monday impossible. There's all sorts. There's so many. Is there any of these that you think would be best to go to conflict with?
Probably translations and HubSpot are more. They have more like people that are familiar to the community, not really like newcomers. So we could push those. Also, like HubSpot, we rolled in the Americas, so maybe we could like push that. And no, wait, it's too late for Europe.
Yeah, I would love to do it during the either the T Academy or Twitter planning. Like we could start halfway through Twitter planning.
I'll just move both of those. I'll move the T Academy to after HubSpot, and Twitter planning. I think earlier might be a good idea because also it's gonna be late in Europe, but yeah, I'll free up like 2 hours. I don't know if that's good enough.
Yeah, 2 out of those 3 hours would be great, and we could put up. I mean, if we could do it at 10 a.m. or sorry 5 p.m. Europe time, that would be pretty sweet.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'll rearrange those.
Yeah.
Or
On Monday.
also 1 hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it might. I say 1 hour and a half. It might just go long if we have some fun discussions.
Are these EST times, Livy?
Yeah.
And then, what do you think? I guess the Wednesday. I could do 4 p.m. Europe, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a little early for West Coast, but
I think it's good to do one at least in the morning of like early Europe, because a lot of people are really busy like later Europe time.
you want to
A lot of Europe people.
So like you mean like something that West Coast people just couldn't make?
Yeah. Like just for one of them.
Yeah. As long as we could get the European support for actually participating in the debates, I'd say we're pretty America's heavy on like representing the proposals.
Yeah, true.
I mean, what we can do is for sure all of these should be recorded. And also I think having Zeptimus do Zep and anybody else who wants to try to do like some calls in more dead zones. I mean, I also maybe could do one for the Asian side of the world, like late at night in the US. And make sure that
Definitely come with me for get those goals and record them.
It might be
Thanks.
useful for those weird times to book according with people's availability. So, like,
Yes.
if you know that someone kind of RSVP'd for it, then you have one.
Yeah, let's make some doodles and send them out to people.
So we can leave this one open for now. I mean,
The
when
one
does it closes? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday,
it closes on Thursday morning.
Tuesday.
Hopefully. Thursday
Yeah.
morning.
No, it will. I think it will close Wednesday. I think it will close Wednesday.
Thought it was a 6-day ranked choice.
Yeah, 6 day. So if we post on Friday, I mean, there's Friday is a day, right? The whole day.
So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday, and Tuesday. Vote, and then Friday morning it would be the end. Or sorry, Thursday morning it would be the end of the vote.
Wouldn't it end Friday? I mean, Wednesday. I might be really bad at this math, but it wouldn't be like Wednesday at the same time that the Friday vote was proposed.
Well, if it was proposed on Friday and it's 6 days, it should end on Thursday.
Okay.
I think. I mean, yeah. If it were 7 days, then it would end on
7
Friday.
days, then it would be the week. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so Wednesday is the last like big debate.
Mm-hmm. And
So
yeah,
maybe
we could doodle it and say, hey, big debate on Wednesday, you know, what times work best for you?
yeah. So let's leave the Wednesday open.
So the
Yeah.
voting opens on the 6th, on Thursday.
They
Voting
open on the
open.
7th on
Yeah.
Friday morning.
Do we have a time for that?
We said before 9 a.m. EST.
Yes. And yeah, and does anyone want to take charge? Well, I can make the doodle if people can distribute it.
Yeah, we're having a so how is the Hatch outreach team? Because then we can just send that doodle in a templated message.
Yep. So we can include that within the message itself. So yeah, if you're able to set up the doodle and share it with me, I can add it to the template. And sorry, I have one more question, and that is, what was the date? What was the time for the Monday debate?
That was
In more of the afternoon in the States, after the sprint planning.
5 p.m. Europe, 11 EST.
So both Monday and Tuesday, it's 11 to 12:30.
Oh, Tuesday
No,
we can use Softgov for it.
I think Tuesday should just be no big debate, just have like individual discussions, hour long. People make questions, make pitches, but not be as structured.
Okay.
I think 3 debates is more than enough, and yeah, and the coordination is just a lot.
And so the time on Wednesday is what?
On Wednesday,
say?
we're gonna make the doodle for,
Doodle. Okay.
and I'm making it now.
And who would be interested in being a point of contact for the voting pamphlets for questions and concerns? Do you have any volunteers for that?
Yeah, I don't mind answer questions regarding the params, if that's what you're asking for.
Yep. Anyone else? All right.
I assume you could add, Lauren and then Mitch and Griff. Is that a bad idea?
Yeah, for sure. For just like DMs, is that the?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's basically just anybody who has questions. I'm just telling them to reach out on Discord.
Yeah. It's hard to find people on Discord if you don't already have their handle or something, you know? Like you can't searching for people's handles on Discord is really annoying.
I'm gonna finish to update the list on the Discord server, so it will be easier to find hatchers on the Discord.
Okay. Well, that would be cool. And then you can just scroll through the list of hatchers or scroll through the list of stewards. Maybe just say ask and DM your favorite steward. All the stewards know. And then there's the list of stewards on the side of the Discord.
And then for representing proposals, I'll just post this list in the stewards chat now, and then see who else wants to represent what.
And at what time does the voting end on the 12th?
It would end on the 13th at 9 a.m. East Coast time, 6 a.m. your time.
Okay.
Right, Livia?
Yeah.
Okay, so I added the information onto the end of our voting pamphlet, and if you could just review that, making sure that's right.
And you could also add the link to this doodle too.
All right.
Okay. So we're at the top of the hour.